man accused of fatally shooting 2 employees at the Methodist hospital in Dallas, Texas over the weekend was out on parole for aggravated robbery in 2015, but was permitted to visit his girlfriend at the facility for the birth of their child. 30-year-old Nestor Hernandez was wearing an active ankle monitor when he allegedly opened fire inside the complex at around 11 a.m. on Saturday the 22nd of September. The child was reportedly born the day before. The Dallas County Medical Examiner identified both victims as 45-year-old patient manager Jacqueline Pecua and 63-year-old nurse Katie Annette Flowers. Just prior to the shooting at around 10:20 a.m., Nestor walked into the labour and delivery unit armed with a handgun. While visiting his girlfriend and with a newborn in the room, Nestor began acting strangely and accused his partner of cheating on him. He then started searching the closet and bathroom for anyone else in the room. After making several ominous phone calls and sending text messages to his family, Nestor continued his peculiar behaviour. He then reportedly pulled a handgun from his pants and repeatedly struck her in the head with it, telling her, "We're both going to die today, and whoever comes in this room is going to die with us." Jacqueline entered the room to provide care for Nestor's girlfriend and their baby, when Nestor stood up and opened fire and fatally struck her. Katy and Hospital Police Officer Sergeant Robert Rangel were in the hallway and heard the gunshot. Katy then looked into the room, when Nestor fired again from the doorway, fatally striking her. After witnessing Katy get shot, Robert then took cover and called for backup on his radio. Nestor then reloaded his weapon and began to exit the room, still armed with his gun. Robert fired once and struck Nestor in the leg. Nestor went back into the room after being shot, and after a standoff with police, he was transported to another hospital for treatment and detained. Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia praised the officer and said there's no doubt the officer saved lives by preventing Nestor from leaving the room. He then said that a violent individual like this should not have been on ankle monitoring. He should have still been in custody, he said. Ankle monitors on violent criminals are useless. And he confirmed that the police department didn't know that Nestor was going to be at the hospital on the day of the shooting. "In my opinion, this is a failure of the criminal justice system," he said. "The fact that under this broken system, we give violent criminals more chances than our victims. The pendulum has swung too far," he said. Nestor has been charged with capital murder. Nestor was released from prison in October of 2021 after pleading guilty to armed robbery in 2015 and receiving an 8-year sentence. A Flint, Michigan man was arrested after a TikTok video allegedly showed him abusing a minor. On the 14th of October, a concerned citizen notified the Oakland County Sheriff's Office of a video that shows a man dragging a child by the arm before he hits the kid in the face. The authorities said that the man, identified as 25-year-old John Wesley Henley, can be seen reprimanding the child who's under the age of 5 for kicking dirt while standing in line for a food truck. John is then seen dragging the child by the arm through the parking lot before he knocks the child to the ground. Through the TikTok video and surveillance footage, police determined that the incident took place at Pontiac and identified John as a suspect. On the 21st of October, he was arrested and taken into custody. His relationship to the child is unclear. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard said, "The actions depicted in this video are abhorrent. Seeing a grown man strike a toddler in the face, decking him to the ground is extremely disturbing," he said. "I want to thank the persons for bringing this TikTok video to our attention and encourage others to do the same if they witness any criminal acts on any social media platform." John is charged with abuse and his bond has been set at $20,000. 18-year-old Carlos DeMoy died over the weekend after he was shot while driving along a Cleveland, Ohio street. The incident occurred at around 1:20 a.m. on the 22nd of October, when the authorities responded to the 2600 block of Woodhill Road on reports of a crash. When officers arrived, they found Carlos in the driver's seat of the vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds to his back. The paramedics rushed Carlos to the University Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. Investigators say shots were fired into the vehicle as Carlos drove west on Woodhill Road. So far, no arrests have been made. The investigation into the matter continues. 38-year-old Dustin Owens is behind bars and is accused of killing his 35-year-old pregnant girlfriend Amber Compton. On the 22nd of October, the authorities received a call from a concerned relative reporting Amber missing after not being able to reach her. At 9:50 p.m. that night, officers responded to Amber's home to complete a welfare check along Sunset Hollow Road in Van Sant, Virginia. When officers arrived, They entered the premises and discovered Amber's lifeless body with multiple gunshot wounds. At the time of her death, she was 7 months pregnant. During the investigation, the sheriff's office identified her boyfriend Dustin as a suspect. Early the following morning, they traced Dustin down to his home on Deer Trail Drive, where they executed a search warrant. He was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. He remains held at the Southwest Virginia Regional Jail without bond. The suspect and the victim both reportedly worked at the Virginia Department of Corrections Key Mountain facility. The authorities said that further criminal charges are expected. The motive of the attack is unknown, as the investigation into the matter continues.